you know, feeling yourself go back into some like deadly loops that you had before. And I don't mean deadly in the sense that it's life-threatening, but it feels life-threatening as you began to take steps to change your life. And as I sat there with myself to go ahead and address these, I've learned that I've just been trying to justify something and still try to people please. And that just is. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it may be. Good evening. That was a little bit of a quick start, but today's word of the day, right here. Clove. C-L-O-V-E. Clove. It's a noun. The dried aromatic flower bud of a tropical Asian tree used as a spice. Let's see. In quotations, it has nail-shaped bud of clove. Now there's some other forms of clove, and so I'm going to read those as well since it's just clove. There's another form of clove, it's a noun, and it's a severable section of a bulb as of garlic. So a clove of something, as long as it's similar to what garlic is, where you can take it off. And a third version is it's also clove, and it's an alternate, and this is PT of cleave and cleave. And so I'm not going to jump to cleave. That's a totally different word. But there's also, no, I'll leave those other ones there because it becomes a different word after that. So clove. There's 3 of them today. That was interesting. I didn't know that. That's the whole point why I'm doing that when I get here in the morning. Alrighty, off to the gym I go. Today is Saturday. Excuse me. So Saturday usually has some other people come up in around this time, and I don't know. I think no. Stop. You can't say I don't know. You can't do that. I gotta start taking larger leaps of faith. And I've been sitting around, I'm not going to say doing nothing. I'm not going to say it like that. However, I will say, because I believe that if I begin to push some sort of thing into action, and it's, well, not, then even this would be a sort of, well, I'm not going to explain any more elaborate anymore. It's simply, I just do it. I simply do it. Take larger leaps of faith. So yeah, it's grand, it's great. Each day is a new day. Each day is a new day. And yeah, I don't know. No, you can't say that, dude. Why are we saying that? You don't want to elaborate. You don't want to talk about it. And so that's why you say, I don't know. At least personally for me. I say, I don't know because I don't want to confront it. But it's horrible. Well, it's not horrible, nor is it good. It just is. But it's horrible in my sense because it limits my growth, because I am avoiding something that is truly needing to be tackled. say it like this. I would like a girlfriend. I would like a significant other in my life as I begin to progress. And I think more that I sit down with myself, and I woke up this morning and, I'm laying there as my body's beginning to wake up and I feel the soreness all around. And I'm scrolling, and I see, beautiful, like, pretty girls. And then I see what they do, and I'm just like, oh, wow, like, they do all these things, and like, why am I not doing these things? And I sat with myself, and I was like, oh, I'm justifying not doing these things. I don't want to say out of laziness, no, but rather from a moral standpoint, to not profit off of people's attention, something that I think is very valuable. And then it clicked in my mind again that I can't change people. People will do what they want to do, and that's what they want to do in their lifetime. And I love others, and I love to push them in a direction that it's positive. But I am being naive in the sense that everybody wants to progress and take those steps towards that. And it was a comment that I made to my brother where I was like, some people are comfortable exactly where they are. And that's just it's a hard truth, a hard reality to accept. Like, some people are just comfortable. They may have the skill sets to do things and they get comfortable. And it might have been an echo of what I am currently doing, a reflection of me at my current point in life. And I'm like, okay, this is true. I'm just saying this and this. No, it's time to take leaps and progress forward and take these jumps and move. No, I'm not going to do whatever these other people are saying to get you rich quick, because getting rich quick just makes you lose your money quick. And I sat there in high school, and I talked about it in a different morning, like the entrepreneurs who want to sell you courses, and that's what these people are doing, is selling you this falsified idea so they get your views, so they get your click, your attention, and your attention is really what they want. They don't want you to actually even buy anything anymore. They just want you to click on the video, because you clicking on the video enough says, hey, algorithm, my stuff's worth watching, so push more of this down other people's feed. And that's just... So you gotta become the thing that you want other people to watch. You gotta become the thing that is entertaining, that is captivating, that is informative, that is everything that you've also been wanting to watch. Because I sit there and I sit down, and I used to, like, you're eating a meal and you're watching YouTube. And now when I sit down and try to look for a video to watch on YouTube, I just can't find too much media to watch. Like, even before, like, I was watching competitive fighting. I was watching competitive MOBA. MOBA being just League, for the most part, not like Dota 2, although that was a game I did want to get into. I just never took that leap to get into it. And as I sit here now, and as I woke up today, I have to create the thing that I also would like to watch. And I think it's going back to this idea of, like, confronting myself and hearing myself. And so, like, these audio clips, I wouldn't listen. I don't listen to them completely. I would just post them, right? These first, like, 9 episodes, I just posted these audio clips without actually listening to myself and reflecting even deeper on what I said in the morning. And so, like, now I can go ahead and, hey, I'm gonna listen to these, and I should put a little bit more editing sense into. Okay, maybe let me not put it that way. Actually, not a little bit. Let let me edit the content to become something that I would want to ingest. Okay, the audio, where does it stand? Okay, I need to go ahead and see how to improve this. I want to make sure that people don't actually have to watch the content. They can just listen to it. You just listen to me talk. You don't have to look at the video, but the video is also captivating enough to where it can be something you watch while you eat. It could be something that is on the side monitor while you're doing something else, and you don't even need the audio also on. It's that, I believe that's the type of content that I would like to push out for, and so I have to create that content. And a very big push in mine that I'm gonna say is I don't want to push out content that uses AI because I just want to push it out to the public and get views. No. It's this artistic form of expression where it's me acquiring the skill sets to go ahead and do this. Because what I've learned in my studies of how we've rapidly evolved and taken these jumps with technologies is the idea of lost crafts that people have that are not used, and it becomes this like niche thing where people would 100% love to learn about or have someone teach them about, be exposed to. And I'll say it like one of these where it was like manually drawn architecture on those giant like boards where people were doing scaled models. When technology began to rise, a lot more of those type of sketchings basically disappeared as we've just been able to do models online, and it was just on your computer. You didn't need the giant table and the pencil, and your lines didn't have to be. It became a lost craft. I'm not going to say it's entirely lost. However, it's one of those things where you would 100% have to practice it a ton. You know, it was an occupation that people had that got lost. And whoa, this crow flew really close to my car. That was quite tough. And so that's where I stand with what I want to push forward. And I have been neglecting it. Not out of laziness. I want to say it was not out of laziness. Because sure as heck I can get it done. And then the question comes like, well, why? And then I sit here and I'm like, well, and then it's just nothing but nonsensical excuses on why. Like, oh, it's a slow process. You have to go ahead and captivate the audience. They like your story. And that's also true. And you have to reinforce and understand, like, how deeply and truly do you want this? People, I want to say it like this. People, when it comes to motivation, people are like, do you want it? Like, there's nothing else in the world. You gotta want it as bad as you breathe. That's a quote from someone. That's not my own quote. And people go, okay. But some people, you want everything as bad as you breathe. It becomes this, what I saw in a different video was this modern exhaustion. These are like clips. Like when I'm like scrolling for a bit and I'm like, actually no. And so like, these are all like small little snippets of everything. So, but everybody wants to optimize their time for something to make money. If you're not doing something that's not making you money, you're wasting your time, apparently, your damn time. And I, in my mind, was justifying not pushing these things out because I'm like, I don't want to do it for money. Okay, don't do it for money. Do it for the joy of practicing a craft that you'll get to say is your own, and go ahead and just post it and have other people just enjoy your craft. It doesn't inherently mean that money will come. It's not like someone's going to come to you and they might ask you, like, is it like there's a job, occupation, this and that. And at that point, it's my choice whether or not I would do it for them for money. And it depends on the situation. It becomes a case by case maybe. And I think another part of it too is I sit here and I go through my days and I ask myself, what is it the thing that I want to basically want as bad as I breathe? Living is this thing where I want it as bad as I breathe, to be constantly present in the moment now. And I could say, like, I've leisurely relaxed, and the idea that my time was wasted is not true, because my time, well, it's not even my time, it's just time. It becomes a conscious act of everything that you do. And since I consciously made the decision to say, no, not yet, no, not yet, no, not yet, for whatever it may be, I know I don't want it as bad as I breathe. But part of me now inside is itching, and it's been sitting on it for, I'm not even say like long enough. It's like 2 weeks. Some people sit on things for years. So 2 weeks of my time sitting on this like idea, and I'm like, okay, no, I do want to take leaps like this. Like for example, the artwork that I push out, I want artwork that captivates people's eyes and realize that it's not completely gone. Like, AI won't replace all of it. AI will do a lot of things and people are just gonna like the quick fix. But AI won't fix that ache in your soul. And that's what, like, the art I produce, even like the thumbnails themselves, is my own time sitting there for a moment and being like, yeah, like this is the choice I actively make, not some descriptive paragraph that the AI model has basically complete control over exactly on how the line is placed on the canvas, the exact position, and this and that. People don't. When you do a piece of artwork, you're the one that is deciding exactly where that line's going. Exactly the amount of pressure that goes into the stroke on the paintbrush. How lightly and gently you caress the page as you shade. Complete control on an extension of yourself. That's beautiful. You could probably describe that to AI too, and it becomes this sort of angelic writing that describes the artwork. But what you exactly see inside your mind and you describe to AI, and it's not exactly how you envisioned it, it makes you question, I think I should have just done it myself. There's a quote my dad says, if you want it done right, do it yourself. And I think that quote has always rung with me, and it was really sort of prevented me from letting other people help me in a lot of things, because I never, this sounds really effed up now that I sit here, but I don't want to be let down. I don't want some expectation of the person, like the way that they envision it is not the way that I envision it, and I tweak it, and it's a thing that I'm molding and I'm breaking off, where you got to let some people help for some certain things. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it off there. I'm at the gym. I gotta use the restroom. Whew. I can feel the beta alanine. This is, excuse me, whoa. Doesn't look like there's too many people here today. So, yeah. Thank you for being here. And I'm taking a lot more time to put work into my craft, into life. Alrighty, see ya. Mwah. Posting twice in one day because I spent 4 hours yesterday gaming, or streaming Deadlock. I actually had an insane performance yesterday on that stream though. It was good. It was good holiday gameplay. The last game with Billy reinforced that, okay, the fundamentals of the game are actually being placed in my mind. It's just the aiming that's going into the holiday gameplay. Sitting there, just remember, aim. I'm just aiming, I'm aiming. I can understand the flow of the game. Aiming. Okay, but besides the point, today's word of the day. Let's see, this one on this page here, we're going to pick that word. The word is Genesis. The coming into being of anything. Origin. Generation. Genesis. The coming into being of anything. Origin. Alrighty. Great word. Genesis. I think I knew a person with that name. Yeah. Alright, off to the gym. The pre-workout, slightly kicking. I know. I'm waking up later because I'm going to sleep later. Last night I went to sleep around midnight. 1. So, naturally I get up 6 hours later, like 6:30. And it's because my body knows 6 hours is like the threshold for adequately functioning. Yeah. Great. Yeah, I gotta pick up a social hobby. I got this for me. I got the gym. And the gym doesn't have a lot of people that go at this time. At least the gym that I go to. Don't worry, if I went to a different gym, different social circles could probably be formed. However, I very much like this gym due to the reduced amount of people. It just leaves the equipment open. So, yeah. So today I was like, I think I want to go watch a movie. I gotta find some social cliques, some social groups to see what is up. And from there, make friends. It's an interesting, transitioning point in my life where I gotta be a little bit, vulnerable. I gotta be vulnerable. Something that's been not my strongest suit. This idea of getting help from other people just has always been this, sort of barrier on this wall that I put up. Because I've relied so heavily on myself for so many things. And there's that fear of getting hurt. The fear of getting hurt and betrayed. And I gotta understand that if I get betrayed or hurt in any type of sense, it was never meant to be. And that's okay. It means the world is shifting me into the right places at the right time to learn the right lessons. Everything's beautiful to experience it all. So yeah, you look online, find social things in my area, and just commit to it. Just go, I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna see what this is all about. Because you truly never know until you're there. Thinking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Excuse me. Yes, that's a mental prep, getting into it. Understanding, like, this is like something I can do, when I go back to it. However, you gotta go and do it, and those things that you're thinking about, you just gotta do it. And so, for me, that's showing up to these social events, going out and doing social things. By myself is the more important part here. Let me say by myself. So I'm not saying I'm forced. However, I'm gonna say I'm forced to interact with other people, get to know people, speak out, talk out, see what's going on. People my age, and I gotta do it now. Like, it's gotta be at this time, because when you do it when you're older, you get more and more kind of constrained and fixated in small little bubbles. And so I have to understand what's deep down nerve-wracking for me to do this experience. It's not the money. It's not the money. I might not have a lot of money, but it's not the money. Although I will say that's been a huge factor in my life, this idea of like scarcity in the mind financially. However, I know that financially I will be amazing. I will do absolutely well. I gotta go out there. I gotta meet some friends, and there's things you could do that aren't crazy with finances. So, yeah. I just gotta look online when I get home. Apologies also on the other ones. Like, if these don't have the drawing, I apologize. I get in my own head and sit there and draw. You gotta hone in your craft, even if it feels like you still show up. You show up and do it when it matters to you. And artwork, to me, I think it's great to explain. I think it conveys idea. I love art in the sense that it explains so much without words and gets a message across clearly without having to be explained at all. That the art itself speaks for itself. Yeah. You can have a partner or friends to tackle this experience of life, to see other people in it, to see what's going on, and more importantly, ones that aren't just there when you are up. Like, the ones that are sticking around when you ain't got nothing. You ain't do nothing. You ain't even play checkers. You ain't do nothing. That clip's too good. Yeah, social interactions. I gotta pick something up. Something. Especially towards the evening. I'm not too sure what the future has in hold for me, and that's okay. Right now, it's just this eternal moment. The future has yet to come. The past is already past. And so I just appreciate this moment right now. I think it's traversing the unknown for, like, unknown people, unknown interactions, how people approach things. And I think that's also, like, to me, I'm gonna say it's gonna be fun to meet these new people who have these crazy interests and know so many things that I don't know. And I also believe it's because deep down internally in my own mind, I feel like I'm gonna find a lot of people that are sort of cookie cutter. I want to find genuine people, and that word genuine is also hard because I say it like this: what does it mean to be genuine? I can't even say I'm fully genuine, for some of the things that I do. Although I've been trying to unmask myself and understand what truly I find passionate about, and it's pretty hard. No, it's not hard. Let me not say it like that. It's not hard. It takes time. It takes time as you look inwards and understand the passions that you had as a kid that have built you, as you try new things. Because a lot of what I have uncovered about myself has been, I've picked up certain hobbies and interests because other people had done it, for those social interactions that occur. I don't know if my car fits right here. I think it does. I'm not gonna risk it. I don't want to be that person that drives right here and then I get squished and I'm the one that looks like an idiot to the office an insurance company. Nah. Not gonna do that. But I will say this. I will say that okay, I was talking about the fear of the unknown and finding out my own interests. Oh yeah, my own interests. The things that I personally do. The things that are me. And I found that a lot of the games that I would play were for a social interaction, for the idea and the community that it would be built, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. What it's come down to my own mind is what is truly like my own thing that I'm doing for the sake of me, not to please anyone else, but it's something sentimental to me. I'm grateful for it. And this is one of these things where me putting out these videos, even if they get no views, they get absolutely no views, or even if they get one view, and I pray that it takes off with some momentum, but not so big that it's sort of what happens to big corporations, where they lose touch with what their roots are because they're so focused on trying to reach the sun, like a giant tree. Roots are deeply ingrained already, they're already commonly shown in stores. Like, people buy Coca-Cola, for example, because it's Coca-Cola. Like, why, but why? Well, because my parents did it. Well, why'd your parents do it? Well, I don't know. The things that they do so ingrained without even thinking. I don't want to get that deep. I want someone to consciously. I listen to like RMW, because it lets me know that there's people out there who still speak about the changes that constantly go every single day, and the idea of being aware, more or less, of certain actions that you go throughout the day that linger, that you wake up the next day and you reflect on the day before, and understand, why did I choose to do that? Why did I, for example, why did I spend 4 hours playing? And I found out that if I didn't spend 4 hours playing, I was going to sit there at home thinking about all whatever is in the future, about where I know I will be. And so I spent that time, instead of worrying and thinking and not doing, by proactively doing something that I know I want to have some part of my life. Now, do I want my whole entire career to be encompassing and playing video games all day? I'm not too sure. However, if I found a community in this space that makes it great to play with, excuse me, that was a pre-workout. then it makes it so everlasting fun. And not every single second of it's going to be fun. There's hardships. You know, you go on a 13 lose streak and but you queue up again because you know that if you can lose 13 times, you can win 13 times in a row. It's the same principle. That winners lose more than losers because they keep on showing up even if they lose. They don't give up. A loser loses and then doesn't show up anymore. A winner keeps on losing and learning from these losses. And then they start to win. You have to get your ass handed to you at your locals. And then learn. And then take it to your regionals. Your states, your majors. I gotta pick up a hobby. I gotta do something. The gym's great. Maybe I'll find friends. No, I will find friends, and there's a possibility that maybe one of them wants to get into the gym, and then suddenly now I have a gym partner who's showing up to the gym because that's something they also wanted to do part in. They just never had someone else to go ahead and accompany them as they push towards this other goal, as they want to integrate it into their life. So, yeah, I'm unsure exactly what I will pick up. Should I look at it online? Find out what's happening locally. Yeah, happy Tuesday. And there's going to be a double post today because I didn't post yesterday. I was supposed to post last night. So, thank you for being here. If you're watching this way in the future, not the year that I post this, but because I don't know, I've gotten big enough to be reflected back on. I love you. Thank you for coming back all the way to something that's near the start. It means a lot. And listen to Be Like a Woman by Chris Rainbow. Great song. I can't play that because of copyright laws. It's so crazy if you think about copywriting. Because they just listen to the frequency of the noise and it has to match the exact thing. Alrighty. See ya. Mwah.